Okay, thank you. Hi everyone. My name is Tracy, and welcome to the Quantum Alignment Show. I'm very honored to be your host today. If you can tell me your type and your profile in the chat box, I would really love to, because then I can say hello to you. Okay, so we have a 1-3 projector Dana. We have the 4-6 projector Dan. We have a 2-4 generator Cami, and Lancy the generator, and 1-3 Linda, and 3-5 projector Peter, and 5-1 projector Martha, and many more. Welcome to this Quantum Alignment Show. Hi Bobby, hi Kathleen. So I'm going to start right now. So a little bit about myself. My name is Tracy. I'm based in Hong Kong, and today we are going to talk about the common misconceptions that a person might have when they start learning about human design. So if you're really new to human design, I want to share with you what is human design. Human design is a system that helps you understand how you are hardwired and how you are influenced. It's basically is a system that tells you why you are the way you are. And with human design, you will be able to learn how to eliminate resistance and negative self-talk in your life and in your brain, and it will help you to make better choices in life. So let's dive right in. And if you have questions along the way, feel free to type in the questions in the chat box. I might not be able to see it when I'm presenting, but I will stop from time to time to see if there are any question that I can answer. So common misconceptions, number one, if I have more channels defined, then I will be more powerful. So what I want to share with you is some of the amazing people on earth. So here we have, you can see that we have Dalai Lama. Sorry, not Dalai Lama, here. So here we can see that we have the human design chart of Dalai Lama. You can see that he only has 2 channels. This is the human design chart of Gary Vee, and you can also see that he has only 2 channels. This is the human design chart of Obama, and you can see that he has only 1 channel. This is the human design chart of Oprah. We can see that she has 4 channels. And finally, this is the human design chart of Lady Gaga, and we can see that she has 5 channels. So what I'm trying to say is that you don't really need to have more channels to be more powerful. To be more powerful, what you really need to do is, number 1, know who you are. Number 2, fully accept yourself. Number 3, take responsibility in your life. Number 4, stop looking outside for validations. And number 5, stop letting anything have power over you. So this is what you need to take to be powerful, and it really has nothing to do with how many channels that you have in your design. So misconceptions number 2, I cannot manifest I'm not a manifestor. So I'm wondering how many of you have these misconceptions, and I have to make my confessions because being a projector, when I first learned about human design, I also have these misconceptions. I thought that how am I going to manifest what I want if I'm a projector? And it took me a really long time to really understand that it doesn't really matter if you are a manifestor or not, because The key to manifestation is not about doing, it's not about initiation. I'm not discounting doing an initiation, but we have to understand that manifestation means that you are in a state where you allow the things that you want come into your life. So manifestation is really not about doing an initiation. Initiation is never the main ingredients when it comes to manifestation. The main ingredients of manifestations are having clarity of what you want, having high self-worth, and being in a state where you allow yourself to receive. If you go and study people who are really good at manifesting, people who are able to manifest almost everything that they want in their life, if you really stop and have a look, they are usually not doer. They are usually not people who initiate, who always initiate, but they are people who really have a very clear about what they want. They are people who have really high self-worth, and they are people who work on themselves, who are always in a state of allowing things that they want to come into their life. So I'm going to stop here because I see some questions. Oh, okay. So yeah.
Oh, no, we were agreeing that sometimes we have that same problem about we're not manifestors, but we had more people even on Facebook. We do have a manifestor on Facebook and 3 projectors that are watching on the Facebook page. That's the comments there, just to let you know.
Oh, okay. So are you going to read the comments to me, or?
I can do that, yes, but so far they've just been commenting when you asked about type and profile.
Okay, so I'm just going. Okay. So I really hope that it could sink in. It doesn't really matter whether you are a manifestor, generator, projector, reflector. We can all be good manifestor as long as we have clarity of what we want, as long as we have really high self-worth, as long as we are in a state where you allow yourself to receive what you want in your life. Misconceptions number 3. If I am a projector, the only thing that I can do is to sit and wait for the invitations. So as a projector, I'm going to share with you that this is not the only thing that you can do. Actually, being a projector, there are 3 important things that you have to do. Number 1, you need to find out what you love and be very good at it. Number 2, you need to work on your self-worth. Number 3, you need to have a willingness to be seen and to claim your mastery. Being a projector, invitations and recognitions are very important to us. And sitting and waiting won't help you attract that recognitions and invitations. What will help you to attract recognitions and invitations is your self-worth and your willingness to be seen and your willingness to claim your mastery. And I want to put really emphasize on self-worth, because as a projector, if you don't value yourself, you are pushing away recognitions and invitations. But if you can stand in your value, if you have really high self-worth, it will make you shine, and it helps you to attract recognitions and invitations into your life. So misconceptions number 4. If I'm generator, the only thing that I can do is sit and wait for my sacral response before I can take any actions. So I've seen that we have a lot of generators and manifesting generator here. So I'm wondering if any of you have this concept that the only thing that you can do is sit and wait for your sacral response before you take any actions. This is a little bit of trick here, because actually this is not a misconception. This is the truth. As a generator, what you want to do is to sit and wait for your sacral response before you take actions. But I want to have a little reframe of what that means to wait for your sacral response. I want you guys to look at sacral response from a different perspective. Your sacral response is actually your friend telling you where, what, and who deserve your time and energy. It is not meant to limit your actions, but to liberate you from things and people that don't really deserve your time and energy. So it's actually a wise thing to do to sit and wait for your sacral response before you take actions, because you really want to put your energy and time to things that lights you up. So this is a trick. This is actually a truth. Misconceptions number 5. Only people with the defined emotional solar plexus have emotions. So if you are new to human design, this is our emotional solar plexus. So on the left, this is a person who have their emotional solar plexus open. And on the right, we have people who have the emotional solar plexus defined. And no matter whether you are opened or defined, you have emotions. Everyone has emotions. People who have it defined have an emotional wave. People have it open don't have an emotional wave, but it doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. Having emotions is a human nature. Everyone has it. It doesn't matter whether you have it open or not. But sometimes I will have people who come to me who has the emotional solar plexus open, and they tell me that they don't feel emotions, they don't have feelings. But what I see is that they desensitize themselves, because people who has this emotional solar plexus open don't like to deal with emotions. They don't really like to handle emotions. And what they do is they desensitize themselves and they disregard emotions. And over time, they don't feel any emotions, but they do have emotions. It's just that they are not aware of the emotions that they have inside their body. Misconceptions number 6. Having lots of definitions in my chart means that I'm not sensitive to my environment, people, and places. So I think this is a pretty common misconceptions that you will find. Like if you have more open centers, you are more sensitive to your environment, and you have more definitions, then you must be less sensitive to your environment and people and places. But this is actually not true, because it really depends on your configurations. If you have a lot of definitions, but you have your emotional solar plexus open, and if you have your G center open, you will still be very sensitive to your surrounding, your people, and your places. And one more thing is, a lot of time we thought that only the open centers makes a person sensitive. But in human design, we see that sometimes it is the definitions that makes people sensitive. For example, here, we can see that if a person has the gate 19 or the gate 49 defined in the chart, these are the people who are very sensitive when the emotions in a relationship changes. So, misconceptions number 7. Human design is limiting. I don't really hear that like very often, but like from time to time, I will hear people saying that they feel like human design is limiting. What I found is the reason that they find human design limiting is because they're trying to define people through human design. They're trying to define people, put people into a box with human design. And if you try to define people, if you try to explain every human behavior with human design is definitely limiting, because humans are more than human design. There are lots of things that human design can explain to you, but there are also lots of human behaviors that human design alone cannot explain to you. And I think it's really important to use human design not to define people, but to understand each other. Because if you are using it to define people, to put people into a box, human design is definitely limiting. But if you are using human design to understand people, then human design is actually very liberating, because it gives you permissions to be who you are, and you will also learn to give permissions to others to be who they are. Misconceptions number 8. If I am a lone energy type, I never have to work. So in human designs, we have the energy types and the lone energy types. So energy types are people who have their sacral defined. So they are our generators and manifesting generators. And lone energy types are people who have their sacral open. So they are our manifestor, our projector, and our reflector. If you are a lone energy type, you have to work, sorry guys, but if you are a lone energy type, you are here to work differently. You might find that a 9 to 5 job is not really good for you. A lot of lone energy type will burn themselves out when they are in their 30 or 40 if they are a lone energy type. But it doesn't mean that you don't have to work, you never have to work. It just means that you are not here to work in a way that the energy types work. A 9 to 5 job may not be a good choice for you because it can burn you out quicker than the energy types, but it doesn't really mean that you don't need to work. It just means that you have to work in a different way. So misconceptions number 9, open centers are a disadvantage. This is actually another trick, because I cannot say that this is not true, but this is only half of the equations. It's true that open centers are where we get off track and vulnerable. It's where we get conditions and where we are sensitive to. But the open centers are also where we gain our wisdom. So it really depends on your perspective. For example, if you have your open spleen, your lessons will be around letting go, but your sensitivity to your body could make you a really good doctor or good healer. And also the other things that I want to point out is that a lot of people, they will put their very focus on the open centers and thinking that the open centers are disadvantaged, but actually the defined centers can also be a disadvantage. Defined centers also has their shadow side. For example, if you have your defined ajna, the good side is that it is very easy for you to be certain, but the shadow side is that you can be very stubborn and not listening to other people's. And the last misconception that I'm going to share today is, if I have an open G, I cannot have any plans in life. So being an open G myself, I would like to share with you that in human design that we say that people with an open G are here to go with the flow, but it doesn't mean that you cannot have plans in life. It just means that you need to be flexible about your plans in life. And if you are an open G and if you really like to make plans, go make it. But remember to go with the flow and allow yourself to change your plans whenever you need to. So being an open G myself, sometimes I like to make plans because making plans help me to get things done. But I make plans on a day-to-day basis. I don't make plans for tomorrow. I usually make plans just for today. And sometimes I will make plans like for a longer period of time. Maybe I have a plans for 1 month or 2 months. But I will always be very open to any changes, and I will always be very open to make the plans longer than it needs to take. So if you are also an open G, if you are also like to make a plan, just go do it. It won't hurt you. But one thing is really important is to be really flexible about your plans in life. So I think I see some questions.
Well, on Zoom here, that people are agreeing along with myself, but Christine said she had an open G. We've had on the Facebook page, we had Michelle was commenting. There was a lot of comments on the manifest. The big one seems to be the manifesting.
Okay, so what are they wanting to know more?
Well, they were just commenting along with yours. Like Michelle was here saying, I've been working on myself for over 5 years and practicing self-love and boundaries too. And she's working on she's a projector. She's working on seeking a job making 100,000. But I've been spending lots of time getting to know myself during the COVID period. She resonated with when you were talking about projectors having to have a different work way. She says, I know that I'm not here to work a 9-to-5 job. She's also highly sensitive. She mostly comments on almost all the misconceptions that you had and how you rephrase them.
Okay.
She said she has many open centers, but she is a planner too. She has a vision board, but she usually only makes plans months in advance. But she feels she needs to be more open to other ways and more flexible. There was another comment from Lydia on Facebook. Okay, manifesting is really, really a challenge, even with clarity and open intuition. The invites or the synchronicities just don't seem to appear, if not rarely. So I think that's kind of, is there any advice that you could give Lydia on that?
Yeah, sure. So I think we all want to manifest what we want in life, and manifestation is delicious if we are able to like do it. But I think like to me, being able to manifest what you want in life, besides having clarity, I think there are other important elements. And one of the elements is to unblock the limiting beliefs that you have in your brain that is holding you back. And also work on your shadows, meaning work on the traumas that you have, because sometimes you will have traumas that are still haunting you, and it will stop you from manifesting what you want in your life. And also the other things that I think is really important is to expand possibilities. What I mean by that is sometimes we really need to be able to see the possibility of our manifestations happening. So let me clarify. So if you are someone who wants to maybe make 10,000 US dollars a year, but you have never make it in your entire life, and just like having that desire and that intentions in your mind may not be enough, because your brain is not trusting that. Your brain does not trust that you can have that. Your brain is like, no matter how many affirmations that you do in your in your heart, your brain is still not trusting that. So it is really important for you to make your brain to actually trust that you can make that happen. And how can you make your brain trust that you can make it happen is by expanding your eyes, meaning that you find people who you have similarities that you can relate to that actually makes that happen. So just give you like a very down to earth example. For example, if you are someone who don't know how to ride a bicycle, and you are trying to manifest that you one day you will be able to ride a bicycle, and you are doing all the affirmations in your heart that you are one day or in 3 months you are going to ride a bicycle. But the thing is, your brain is not trusting that you will be able to ride a bicycle. So what you need to do is maybe you find someone, maybe your friend who is like you, that who don't know how to ride a bicycle, but now they know how to ride a bicycle. Maybe you find your best friend who is like you, who is unable to to ride a bicycle, but now he can ride a bicycle. By seeing someone who you can relate to doing or having what you want will really help your brain to start trusting that you also can have what you want. So for another example, for example, you are someone who want to manifest a trip to London, and you want to like have it paid for you. You want to have a free trip to London, and you're trying to do all the affirmations in your mind, but if your mind is not actually trusting that, it will not happen. But if you go on Google and you start seeing people sharing how they get free trips to places where they have never been to, if you go on Instagram, if you go on blog, you will see bloggers or YouTubers, they share with you, okay, they have an invitations to go somewhere else to do um, an interview or do some tasting, and they have all their traveling cover, and it will help your mind to expand possibility and to trusting that, okay, that could happen also to you. So I hope that helps. And if we are looking at our human design chart, we really need to understand that types and strategy are here to help you understand how you shine, how to deliver your gifts, and how you should spend your energy and time. So if you are a manifestor, you will be most attractive. You can be unapologetic about doing. If you are a manifestor, if you can just go do what you want, of course you have to inform before you go on to do what you want. If you can be unapologetic and be at peace at people's reactions, you will be in a state of your most attractive state. And being in that state will help you manifest attract what you want in your life. If you are a generator, a manifesting generator, spend your time and energy on things that really lights you up, because spending time and energy on things that really lights you up will help you be so magnetic that helps you to attract things into your life better. And if you are a projector, really work on your self-worth, because when you are standing in your self-worth, this is what makes you attractive, and this will help you attract what you want in your life. And if you are a reflector, have a clarity of what you want, and being at the right place, being at a place that feels good to you, will help you attract what you want in your life. So I hope that helps.
Oh, they were having another conversation back
I
on
see
Facebook
that.
responding, and there was
Yeah.
like Lydia was saying that I don't know about other projectors, but I don't really have all that many friends in my life. I usually teach myself. Michelle agreed that, and Philip actually said manifesting, getting a job is not the only way to make the 100,000. You can use your experiences to help others going through similar situations via online courses or podcasts. So there was a question that came up, and then I think on Zoom we had some, but Gioletta on Facebook said, is having confidence linked to any center? I have an open heart, will, and G center.
So her question is, she's wondering if she has an open heart, an open G, and that makes her less confident?
Or yes, that's part of it. Or is there a center that's really related to confidence?
In my experience, there's no center that relates to confidence. You can have confidence no matter what configurations that you have. But but having said that, with an open G, you might lose your confidence because you are spending all your energy trying to prove your lovability. And with your open will center, you might lose your confidence because you are seeking validations from outside.
I was just checking the comments in Zoom, and not seeing as many questions as I am seeing the comments on definitely clearing self-limiting beliefs around self-worth and scarcity tend to muck up manifestation powers. Okay, so does it need to be seeing possibility externally, or can one use visualization to see possibility that can help the brain trust it's possible? See, oh, that's an Ashna question.
It really helps to see possibility externally to help your brain trust. I mean, I'm not saying that visualization doesn't help, but seeing possibility externally helps tremendously.
And it helps you change that defined darkness sometimes, right?
Yeah.
That was one of, I think, your misconceptions. I'm looking. Elise on Facebook says confidence is related to trusting oneself. Which, can you see that? Trusting oneself, that can be seen in almost all the centers, right? But I think you went back to that when you were talking about types, and if you're really using based on your type, if you're following your strategy, is that correct? Does that sound right? That can help increase the self-confidence.
And I think really human design will help people increase their confidence because it gives you a validation of who you are. So you're not spending time doubting who you are. So I think it really helps. Human design really helps people to boost their confidence because you know who you are now and you know how to trust yourself.
We had a question come in on Zoom from Dana. Do projectors take longer in general with life changes, the big choices, because we're building up self-worth and limited in energy?
Yeah. I think so. It projector could take longer in general with life changes. Yeah, I think you're correct.
And that's speaking from a projector standpoint, right, Tracy? You're a projector.
Yes, I'm a projector. Yeah.
So here was a question, or that was a state. I'm looking for questions. 2020 is like an inner validation ascension crash course. Lots of decisions to be made and many chances to strengthen your discernment muscles. Do you agree with that? I mean, this past year, that discernment can help. Let's go with discernment. Can discernment, using your human design, can that help with discernment? So that, do you think that?
Yeah, I think knowing your human design really helps, because you know how you are conditioned. So, for example, me having the Open G Center the past year, I sometimes got distracted because I don't really know which directions that I need to go, and what is happening in the world and in Hong Kong really sometimes can take me off my track. But because I know human design, and because I know that this is a common experience for for people with the Open G, now I have the awareness to see how I get off track, and then I will be able to, and I have the ability to pull myself back on track.
Well, thank you. I like that way of looking at it.
Mm-hmm.
From another Open G person. Peter asked, in your presentation, you mentioned people who have the gate 19 are more sensitive. Could you elaborate on that, please?
If you have the gate 19, the gate 19 is the gate about being sensitive to people's need. So people who have this gate are really sensitive to the needs of others. Generally, people who have this gate, they can sense what people's need, and they like to provide what people's needs. So this is their sensitivity, and they can read, and not just the people with the gate 19, but also people with the gate 49. They're very sensitive to the emotional changes in a relationships. So it's like if some people emotions, like they have a fluctuations, people with the gate 19 can feel that fluctuations. They might not amplify it if they don't have the open emotional solar plexus, but they can still feel the changes, the fluctuations in the emotions.
So we still have some time if people have more questions.
So if people don't have questions, do people have questions? Or if people don't have questions, then I'm going to answer the questions that I got through emails.
Cool. So far, I don't see new questions. Let's go with the email question.
Okay. All right. So this is a question from Cindy. So this is her chart. Cindy asked, I'm a 26 years old MG, and sometimes I feel I don't really know what I want, who I am, and how to make a decision. Is this rooted in the open root center, or maybe also the speed definitions? So looking from your chart, you have the open root center. So if you have this center open, you will have a tendency to spend your time and energy helping people finishing their stuff. So it could be one of the reasons why you don't really know what you want. If you are someone who are used to spending all your time and energy doing other people's work instead of yours. But from your chart, there are other indicators where it might be what contribute to your current situation of not knowing what you really want and who you are. So a few indicator is here. You can see that you have the gate 63, which is in your Saturn. So 63 is the gate of questioning, and it's also a gate of doubt. People with this gate can doubt themselves a lot. So if you happen to doubt yourself a lot, it could be the reason why you feel like you don't know what you want. It's not because you don't know what you want, but you are doubting yourself. And The second indicator is the gate 64. Here, with the gate 64 in your moon, gate 64 is a gate about big pictures. It is also a gate that can bring confusions to a person's life. So if you have this gate in your chart, it is easy for you to feel confused about what directions to take in order to have what you want, because you have such a big pictures in your mind that you want to bring it into manifestations, and you're confused what directions that you need to take in order to bring your dreams, your what you want into reality. And the third indicator where I see that might contribute to what you're feeling right now is that in your chart, you have the channel 1034. So 1034 is one of the channels in the centering circuit. And you also have the gate 27, which is part of the defense circuit. So people who has the centering circuit as well as the defense circuit at the same time in the chart, sometimes we experience a tug of war in their hearts, because with the channel 1034, they are driven to do what they want to do. But with the gate 27, they really want to take care of their loved one and their families. So what happened with you having this configuration is you might have a tug of war of you don't really know whether you should just go do what you want, or you should spend time taking care of your family and your loved one. You have like a tug of war, because when you spend time doing what you love, you have a guilt inside of you that you feel guilty that you are not being able to fulfill your responsibility. But when you spend your time fulfilling your responsibility, you have an unhappiness inside your heart because you don't have time to do with what you want. So this is a third indicator that might contribute to your current situation. And there are other indicators, but I'm going to say one more indicator where it might contribute to your current situation of you don't know what you want. Is being a MG, you are by design multi-passion. So I'm wondering, are you trying to stick to just one thing? If you have a beliefs that you need to find the one thing, and if you don't find the one thing, it means that you don't know what you want. Because being an MG by design, you're not meant to stick to one thing. You are meant to do like 3 to 4 things at the same time. And being an MG, you have all the permissions in the world to do everything that speaks to you, that lights you up at the same time. And you don't need to put yourself into just one thing, and you don't have to shame yourself because you cannot put all your energy into just one thing. So there are other indicators or other reasons that might contribute to your current situation of why you don't really know what you want, who you are, and how to make decisions. But I think we don't really have enough time to talk about it here, because I still have other questions to answer. But I would answer you, and I will answer the other question is that you said that I would be so grateful if you could explain how to deal with an open root center if somehow so many other centers are defined. So like I said, if you have an open root center, it is easy for you to feel under pressure to help people to do their own to do their things. So if you catch yourself spending time helping others to finish their work, ask yourself, Do those people ask you to help them in the first place? Do you have to help them right now, or you can help them later? And finally, ask yourself, have you finished your own stuff yet? So this is the question that I would ask myself. Okay, Kim is a generator, and her question is, being a generator with a lot of open centers, especially the root center with 7 defined gates. They said there's a lot of pressure on me. How do I best handle this? Especially around people who have their centers defined, various minds are open. So you can see that Kim have the open roots here, and these are the 7 defined gates that she has, which is the 41, the 39, the 60, the 53, the 54, the 38, and 58. So to sum up, what I would say for Kim is that with the 7 centers defined gates, with 7 defined gates on your open root, you might find yourself under pressure to perfect what is not working and brings in something new. And if you feel overwhelmed at times, especially around people who have the roots defined, there are 3 things that you can do. One is meditation. Daily meditations will really help you to react better to the pressure from outside. Second is to be aware, to be self-aware that this is just energy. You have a choice on how you react to this energy. And the third thing you can do is to ask yourself some questions. So I have written them down. I have written down some of the questions here. So these are the questions that I would ask myself if I were you. These questions are, do I have to take action right now? What preparations do I need to do before I take any actions? Do I have people help me finish what I started? Because you have the gate 53, it is really easy for you to under pressure to feel to start something new. But with the gate 353, what you're good at is starting. You need someone who helps you to finish it. So before you start, ask yourself, do you have people here to finish, to help you finish what you have started? And is what you are starting practical? Because with the gate 41, it's easy for you to start something that is not practical. So because this is a gate of fantasy, so sometimes it's easy for people with this gate to start something that is not practical. So asking yourself, is what you're starting practical can help you? And also, it's like Cindy, ask yourself, whenever you catch yourself trying to finish other people's work, do they ask you to help them in the first place? Do you have to help them right now, or you can help them later? And have you finished your own stuff? So Cindy, do we have questions?
We did have some questions that came in.
Okay, so I think we can answer them.
Yeah, you've got some time left. Dana asks, I have 5 planets in the gate 38. I'm still a little confused on how a projector has so much fight with the gate 38.
Have so much
of that energy to fight from the gate 38.
How a projector has so much fight. Oh, okay. So with the gate 38 means that you are here to find what you are fighting, what is worth fighting for. So being a projector can have something that they feel worth fighting for, but being a projector is really important to be invited to do the fighting. So if I were you, I would ask myself, is what I am investing energy into really worth fighting for? And the second question that I will ask myself is, do I receive the invitations to fight for what I'm fighting for?
Okay, then Linda asks, I have the date 1858. How do I find joy in my life if it seems to be an elusive feeling?
So this is a channel that likes to perfect, and is in perfection that you find joy. Some of the questions that I would ask myself is, are you perfecting things that you really like? Or are you perfecting things that just because you can? So let me clarify. So let's say you are a pianist and you have been spending a lot of time perfecting your skill playing piano, but you don't find joy in perfecting your skill, even though your skill are getting better, because deep inside your hearts you don't love it. So it's really important to spend your time perfecting things that you honestly love, because that's the only way that you will find joy.
What an excellent answer. Thank you. George has a long question. I don't know if you want to read it from the Zoom, or would you like me to read it?
Okay, I will read it. So, can you speak to what you may see about the overall planetary evolution related to the upcoming COVID-19 vaccine? There has been much talk about it being a way to connect human beings to artificial intelligence and technology, either voluntarily or involuntarily. It seems like it might be the beginning of the manifestations of the 2027 evolution. If the upcoming generation is masked and mandated, perhaps it will facilitate the next evolution where the creature may not be able to procreate through sexual relationships, and they will not be strong enough to think or move for themselves. Does that resonate with you as the next evolutionary stage for 2027? And what do you see regarding the upcoming vaccine and its effect on the planet's human species? Will it kill us all? I don't think I'm an expert on these questions, but Karen has a book on it. So I would recommend you go check out Karen's book, because she has a book talking about the COVID-19, the human, the design of
Human
the
Design and
yeah.
Human Design and the Coronavirus, and it's available on Amazon.
Yeah.
It's a very good, very deep question, and
yes.
I think it's one that I've heard Karen say that, I mean, we're never going to, there's things that you can see, but since we don't really know, can't really predict exactly how things are going to turn out then. But it was a very deep question. Thank you.
Yeah. And I want to answer the last question that I got from email.
Sounds good.
So, yeah. So this is from Alex. So he has a lot of questions, and this is his chart. So Alex's question is, I find myself in a state of literally just sitting at home doing nothing. I want to do, but after coming across human design and trying to initiate my whole life, and it was not working out so well, I'm scaling back, doing a lot of spring cleaning, removing what doesn't make me feel alive, cutting out what doesn't energize me, and trying to learn how to respond rather than pretend to have manifesting power. But like I said in the beginning, I'm finding myself motionless and literally someone who writes down their goals and intentions 1,000 times but ends up sitting on the couch waiting for Oprah to call. Does waiting really means doing nothing? So if you're someone who have been initiating all your life, it's normal that when you learn that you need to wait to respond, you feel like there's nothing that you can do. And especially when you have fear about doing because you don't know whether you are responding or initiating. And I find that it really takes some time, usually for generator, to understand the differences between initiating and responding. But we don't have time to, I don't have much time to explain it. But what I want to say is, I think that you're on the right track, because doing a clearing, removing what doesn't make you feel alive and cutting out what doesn't energize you, you are on the right track. But what I want you to add is to start asking yourself every day, who and what deserve your energy? Because this is a very important thing for a generators. So as a generator, should I never listen to anyone who gives me advice? Again, I'm also wondering if I should never attend a personal development seminar or workshop, because these people are most likely manifestors who aren't familiar with human design, who, like most of the world, expect everyone to just go do it. To me, I think it's really a good idea to listen to people, but remember, listening to others doesn't mean that you have to take that in. Let your sacral decide whether you should take it or not. And since you have the open heart and open ajna, it will be very easy for you to get hijacked by people's thoughts and ideas. So if you are still deconditioning, cutting down your time attending seminar and workshops might be a good idea for you now. And when you feel like you're ready to listen again, then use your sacral to help you decide which seminar or workshop is good for you. So question 3 is, how do I take something that's taught in a manifestor way and turn it into something that really works for me? I don't recommend you spend time doing that. There are many ways to manifestations, and you really don't have to do it the manifestor way. And number 4, to be honest, after learning about human design, I feel like more a hermit than anything who has retreated to the cave, because I don't trust anyone or anything to have my strategy and thought in mind. I feel like human design isn't compatible with my life, and I'm more scared than soup. Is it normal? Yeah, it is normal, because most of us, the only way that we know to manifest what we want is by doing and initiating. And now human design tells you that what you need to do is to respond instead of initiate. It's normal that you feel like it is not compatible with your life, and it's normal that you feel scared and so, because you have a lot of fear in your heart that you won't be able to manifest what you want in life. But I hope my previous presentations will give you some comfort. I mean, early presentations will give you some comfort. And lastly, how do you go set if you are a generator? I feel immobilized because I have to wait, and I'm not entirely sure what that really means in everyday life for the average person. Or put another way, how do I take a design of mine and intentions and move it along without initiation? So what I really would recommend you to do is to spend all your time and energy doing what lights you up, what makes your body sing, because the more you do that, the more magnetic you will become, and more easier it will be for you to manifest what you want. And when you are doing what you love, hold your intentions and your desire in your mind, because thoughts attract. And if you are in a good mood and if you hold intentions in your mind, you are actually helping your manifestations. So this is what I would say. So I think
we're at the time. I want to say I love that last part you said, Tracy, and it kind of summed up the whole thing, because we've had a lot on manifestation that you know, depending for all types, if you're do what you have to do, what lights you up, so that brings your attraction field. Right? Is that right? That's what I got from your last paragraph. Of course, I'm a generator, so I'm going, yes, yay. But I really like that. Did you have final things that you wanted to say? I mean, it was I want to thank you. And there's been many thank yous and for all the information you shared on the misconceptions and things that have come up.
I hope that I'm honored to be here, and I hope that it helps you to demystify and makes your human design journey easier. So I hope you have everything that you want in your life, and I hope you on your way to be a good manifestor. Yeah, so thank you so much, everyone.